Learning music production can be difficult. Which DAW should you use, what tutorials are worth your time, or how to avoid sounding this bad. Today I'm sharing a roadmap of 7 lessons to learn music production and avoid the mistakes I made when I started making music a decade ago, so you can learn faster than 90% of new producers. But first, let's talk about why so many people fail to learn this new skill that can change their life. Let's be honest, learning music production feels like decoding an alien language. You watch a tutorial, you get motivated, and then boom! You're drowning in plugins, mixer settings, and concepts you don't understand. But here's the catch, people treat production like a school subject. They watch hours of videos memorizing theory and effect names, but they never actually sit down and build a track. It is like learning to ride a bike by studying how a bicycle works instead of riding it. And don't get me wrong, tutorials are super useful, but you don't need a degree in sound design to make something awesome. You just need to jump in and start. I learned this the hard way. Lesson 0. DAW and gear. I want to separate this from the other lessons because I think it's something that you need to know before actually starting to produce. It doesn't matter the DAW you choose, Logic, Ableton, FL Studio, they all are good and every top artist uses a different one. It happens the same with gear. Of course, a fancy studio with the best acoustics is nice, but if you just have a laptop and headphones, start there. People have made hits with AirPods. And if you're thinking now about those super cool plugins everybody uses, forget about it. If you cannot afford them, don't worry, stock plugins are super good also. Lesson 1. Start with music theory. Even if you never played an instrument, learn simple things of music theory and how your DAW and new technologies can help you with this. You don't need to know how to play 4 seasons of Vivaldi in a piano, but at least simple things like what is a scale, how to make chords, when you can get out of those scales. Lesson 2. Watch tutorials and apply the concepts instantly. You don't need to watch tutorials until you are a grandpa, but if nobody teaches you things, it's going to be so difficult to learn them. What you need to do is to make sure that after watching some tutorials, you apply the concepts instantly. This way you're gonna keep them better in your mind. But if you watch 10 videos and wait 3 days until working again in music, you're just gonna forget about everything you learned, so you're basically losing time. Lesson 3. Be patient. No, you are not going to play at Tomorrowland next year and you are not going to collab with your favorite artist in 3 months. There are no shortcuts. Unless you pay a ghost producer that makes all your songs, but in that case you wouldn't be watching this video. You need to start, you need to struggle, you need to fail, and you need to win. People say that you need to spend 10,000 hours to master a skill, and in this case, they usually say that you need to make at least 50 songs to have a decent quality. So don't believe you are the new prodigy and you're gonna make a hit after 10 songs. Be patient, keep learning, keep working, and you'll get better with every song that you finish. Lesson 4. Don't overcomplicate it. Let's be honest, when people listen to your song, they don't care about what compressor you use, how much dBs you limited the master, or what super fancy plugin you decided to use for the bassline. So make it easy. If something sounds good, but you didn't apply those 10 plugins that somebody told you it's super important to use, don't use them. Otherwise it's going to sound overprocessed and worse. The only rule that really exists in music production is that if something sounds good, is good. Tattoo this phrase in your forearm so you can read it every time that you're overthinking and you want to use that plugin that you saw in a YouTube tutorial and you don't need. Lesson 5. Put timers and make challenge. Alright, now you're making your first songs, but you keep tweaking that snare, watching a lot of tutorials to compress your vocals properly, and you're stuck there. You don't advance, you never finish this song. This is a big mistake. Remember that you need to finish at least 50 songs to have a decent quality, so if you're stuck in the song number 10, you're losing time. And if you really want to learn how to make music, you need to go through all the steps of music production, from making a chord to mastering the song, because in every step you can learn things that can help you in other parts. So I give you 2 advices. 1. Make challenge. For example, during 1 week you're gonna make 1 entire song every single day. You're gonna have to work a lot faster. You're not gonna lose time tweaking a snare or watching a tutorial for this specific thing. Otherwise you're not gonna finish the song of that day. This will improve your workflow and make you take decisions faster, avoiding overthinking. Or you can also put timers to make sure you don't exceed working in something. Let's say you decide 30 minutes is enough to mix your vocal. Put a timer, and when the time's over, move on to the next thing. Lesson number 6. Collab. Working with other artists is a really good way to learn new techniques, how to make better melodies, get groovier drums, or how to get a cleaner mix. You can analyze what the other person made, or you can just ask why they made that change. You will also get new samples and presets that can help you in the future. And now maybe you're thinking how to get collabs. My advice is to look for people that is kind of at your same level or a bit better than you, so you can learn from them. But if this was a game and you are level 10, don't ask a producer of level 50 to collab. That will not work. Lesson number 7. Use reference songs. Using reference songs and reference stems is what really made me improve my quality. I was able to compare my leads to professional leads, tell how much reverb they had, how bright was the sound, and I could do this with chords, bassline, pianos, drums. Also using reference songs can help you to get better ideas, what to do and where, how long should be the breakdown and the drop, but also can help you on mixing and mastering because you have a reference of how you want to sound or how you should sound. So never forget to add 2 or 3 reference songs in your projects. So these are 7 lessons I wish I knew when I started, and even if you apply just half of them, you're gonna improve way faster than other producers.